It's on?
You flip it to turn it on. You
Oh,
ready?
no, okay, we're ready.
Where's the clerk? Well, we don't.
No, we do this. Is it on?
It's not on. You want on?
Yeah.
This is a work session.
Work session.
Hence the no jacket.
Work session of February 3rd. 4 board members present. Mr. McCarthy is absent. Okay. Did you want to do these site plans?
Good morning, board members. Peter Hans from the Planning Department.
Morning, Peter.
We have 2 site plans for the board's consideration this morning, acting as the Board of Site Plan Review. The first one is the industrial park. This is HBO. They're looking for a parking expansion, roughly 53 parking stalls. It's in a undeveloped portion of the site. Recommending approval with 4 conditions. The applicant's in agreement. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as the conditions. Are there any questions the board may
And
have?
the signatures, they've agreed to these.
They have agreed.
So that's what the signature means.
Yep.
Okay.
The next application is Dunkin' Donuts, Wisconsin. This is demolition of a portion of the existing building to facilitate a drive-through. The former Prestano's Bakery, that will become a Dunkin' Donuts, and they're proposing a nail salon that's existing to remain. We're recommending approval with 5 conditions. Necessary permits from the building department, erosion control measures per the engineering department, obtaining highway work permits from Suffolk County DPW as Smithtown Boulevard's a county road, highway work permit from the town highway department for the side street, and fencing, as we did with the Taco Bell, to prevent any garbage that may be on site from blowing off site. The applicant has agreed with the conditions, and that's why the signature's there. They've cooperated with us. We put a lot of focus on the details of this application, so we believe it will be a good project when it's complete.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
David Flynn here, I'm going to pass out a memorandum from David to each of you. We'll have him discuss it. Yes, please. Flynn?
Have another one, Supervisor?
Yeah, I'm going to give you, I'm trying to separate them.
Oh, okay. I have it.
You have it?
Yeah,
Have Waters?
yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, I just wanted to bring to the board's attention that the planning board is in receipt of an application to residentially subdivide some land contiguous with the headwaters of the Nisquag River in Hauppauge. The property's on the border of the town of Islip, and its other side, there's a town park purchased in the 1960s, but I believe paid for in the 1980s from a Mrs. Pratt. And it would seem to me that it's in the best interest of the future of the town to protect the quality of the Nisquag River by reducing development near it. And it would seem consistent with the town's existing master plan to try to protect this property. We would recommend, or I would recommend anyway, that the town acquire it. It is contiguous with another town park. It is contiguous with some of the springs of the Nisquag River. If the town board decides that you don't want to acquire it, then the second best solution, in my opinion, would be for the town to try to work out a land swap with the developer, trading some of the existing park and then picking up the property that he wants to develop. And the reason for that is a fewfold. One is it keeps development away from the river, and then secondly, it allows the people who live in that development, who would be town residents, access to the rest of the town without going through the town of Islip. Under the pending subdivision application, the only way in is they're proposing to demolish a home in a subdivision in Islip and build a road into the town of Smithtown to serve plus or minus about 10 homes. So if the trade went through, there would be a cul-de-sac coming up from Old Willets Path, and the town residents would be able to get to the rest of the town through our town.
What's your recommendation?
The recommendation would be to, in the first instance, is to acquire it. I'm trying to remember how many acres.
7.
8.4?
8.4.
8.4.
Oh, so subdivide 7.
That's true.
You're writing here, do you believe the town could obtain some financial assistance from the county?
Well, the reason I say that is almost every year for about 10 years, when the county has approached the planning department with respect to getting a list of properties that the county ought to acquire, in our opinion, and then they had their own list, is the county typically would say they're reluctant to acquire land in this town without the town contributing some of the money. So it gives me the impression that the county, in their acquisition program, would likely divert some of their resources from other towns to our town if we were to match in some form. I have no idea whether it would be.
So can you find that out?
Sure.
You haven't spoken to the county as of yet?
No.
Okay.
Have you spoken to the builder who was,
No, my first step was to, if the board wasn't interested, I didn't want to bother the
but
builder
the
with this.
proposed swap is 4.9 acres for 8.4?
Well, the reason for that is it's more than enough to fit on the number of properties that the number of lots that his proposal has. He's proposing a cluster. And so I believe each of the lots is a half acre. So that this fits in to that. Our zoning is R15 in that area, which is less than a half acre. It's roughly a third acre. So if he wanted to have the same number of lots that comply with the Smithtown zoning and the health department, only about 4.9 or 5 acres is necessary for the swap. I mean, if the town board wants the planning department to explore it, then, we would explore it with the developer and see what,
So, can I interrupt you?
Sure.
When you say swap, so you're saying in effect, if you make the swap with us, you can build these houses here and not here? Is that what
Correct.
basically we do?
correct.
And is it realistic to expect that he would do that?
I think so. I think the not having to deal with the town of Islip would be an advantage to him. Not that the town of Islip is bad, but having to deal with another town to demolish a house in their town to get access to land in our town, from what I've been told by the previous, one of the previous Islip planning commissioners, they were not in favor of. But I'm led to believe from the staff in the planning department that the builder is working his way through the Islip Planning Board, trying to work out that access issue. The reason they don't come out in our town, if you look on the plan, they do have access to the bypass, but if you look, it's narrower than the width of a street, and if you walk it, it's really a driveway with ponds on both sides of the driveway. So let's say the driveway is 10 feet wide. There's no realistic way to put a road in without filling in the ponds, at least partly. And I'm guessing that the builder's strategy of least resistance is to avoid filling in the pond.
That narrow road would be right off of Veterans Highway?
Correct. Pretty
Right.
much opposite the legislative office.
Right.
It's this little spur here? Is that the road?
This one up here.
Oh, this one here.
That's pretty much opposite the legislative building.
You spoke about a few of the acres that you want to preserve because it's of the environmental impact. And you say the town could purchase it, acquire it, maybe with the help of the county,
Right.
which they often do, I know that. But in that case, who owns it? The town or the county?
I don't know. I'll
Because I
find
know
out.
the county very often purchases,
Mhm.
and with most other towns, they partner up.
Mhm.
But I really did never ask the question, who owns it at the end? I thought the county would own it at the end.
I'll have to find that out. I'll talk to Sarah Lansdale or
Mhm.
someone else.
So do you want to explore this with the county first?
Yes,
Then you come back at the next meeting and tell us?
sure. I didn't want to go that route if the town board didn't want me to go that route. So I wanted to ask you first whether it's something that should be pursued.
But I think the question really is, you want to know, do we want to preserve that?
I guess, yeah.
That's the end
Yeah.
question. I'm for one would say yes to that.
But the county might preserve it with the
Yes.
town's help.
Excuse me?
The county would preserve it then, I think, with the town's help. That's probably the way it would go.
Well, if
Well, either
past
way, it would be
practice
preserved.
indicates the future, right, that's true. I certainly can't commit the county to anything. I'm just saying that over the past 10 years,
They do.
that's what they've usually told
Yes.
us.
But if you were able
So-
to, if you were able to engineer this swap as you have it here, wouldn't this be more beneficial?
Yes. Well, no, actually, I'm not so sure that it'd be more beneficial, but it would be less expensive.
Okay.
I mean, presumably, the further the development is from the water, the less impact it has on the water. So even in the swap, there is development a few hundred feet from the ponds.
So can you explore both options?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So, I know what to do.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, David.
I know we do have a personnel matter. Anybody else have anything?
I have I sent this memo around yesterday about the transfer, read on this afternoon for salt.
Okay,
For the highway department.
never got it, but okay, we'll do that.
I
Do you have
sent
the
it.
resolution?
Yeah, there should be, I sent it yesterday, they're asking for us to read on the resolution,
Oh,
to
okay.
transfer funds so we
Fine,
can
fine.
purchase the salt.
Okay,
They're running low.
Gee, I wonder why.
I gotta find out where that is. Never saw
If
it.
you need, if you don't have it, Supervisor, you need it,
Well, we'll need it to read on, that's all.
Yeah, we just need the
Well,
resolution.
just call Joyce if she has it, if not, send it up.
Okay, fine.
Do we want to move to go to executive session?
Okay.
I'll move to go to executive session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It was hot. Let's sit down and talk about little trivial things.
That's what they do, they go on
Well,
and
I'm
on and
not
on
gonna
and
sit
on.
there. If it's something important that the board needs
Yeah.
to attend to, I'll do it. I'm not gonna talk about,
They lose track
yeah,
of the
well,
time, and
no,
it goes for
I won't
hours,
do
right?
that. What is the beginning?
You know, they talk
You're on
about
the
other
mic.
things.
I'll move to close the meeting.
Second.
Wait, is it on?
You don't need the application.
Oh, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.